Aloha from Honolulu, Hawaii, and Sampurasun. I always open my public address anywhere in the world with Sampurasun. It is part of a useful local wisdom I inherited from the community I was born almost 73 years ago in Bogor, a city in the West Java province of Indonesia. It simply means I ask for permission to talk to you today. And I also ask for forgiveness if what I say is inappropriate or incorrect. The audience are supposed to reply with rampes. Yes, rampes, meaning apologies accepted. So when I talk nonsense today, I'm already forgiven, correct? Thank you very much. Good morning, Excellencies. The Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Gujarat Technological University, Professor Navin Sheth, the chief guest, Dr. Parimal Vyas, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Maharaja Saya Jirao University of Baroda, distinguished speakers, and esteemed participants. It gives me much pleasure to be here with my old-time friends at GTU and also my new friends, albeit only virtually. I'm greatly honored and grateful to be invited as the guest of honor at this important and timely faculty development program at the GTU in Ahmedabad, India. In today's age of disruption, we also witness the transformation from Industry 4.0 to super smart society 5.0. Consequently, the role and responsibility of educational institution has to change accordingly and fast. Of priority importance is the growth mindset that professors and university administrators must have. The role, function, and responsibility of university has changed due to the digital communication technology revolution. It resulted in societal disruption caused by innovative application of such technologies. The present transformation from Industry 4.0 to Super Smart Society 5.0 as originally conceptualized by the K. Danren called for a paradigm change from digitalization to personalization. The Society 5.0 concept was officially communicated by Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe at the CeBIT Computer Fair in Hanover, Germany in March 2017. This is a tall order. Due to COVID-19, we have just been transformed almost overnight to become digital netizen, virtual communicators, and remote mediated learners. And we have become less personable. How can we restore and increase more collaborative and integrative personalized communication and social behavior? In order to improve personable family, group, and community spirit, interactions, and cohesiveness. This is why the topic of the faculty development program on emotional intelligence become very important and relevant. The Super Smart Society 5.0 personalization approach call for the return to the humanness in our communication and educational process and not humanless interactions. In time of high stress, uncertainties, and anxieties, managing our emotion and using our emotional intelligence to communicate, interact, and collaborate with others are essentials. Similarly, in the educational process, the principles of humanity, integrity, and ethical responsibility must be given more priority and attention. This becomes especially critical in the approaching age of artificial intelligence or AI based technology application, robotics, machine learning, and deep learning, to name just a few. I trust all of you will be deliberating on these and other related emotional intelligence issues, so I will not dwell on it here. However, I do want to point out other equally important individual personality traits for human development as postulated by Thomas Friedman. He is the triple winner of the Pulitzer Prize and the New York Times columnist and also author of many books, including The World is Flat. Tom Friedman indicated that in the era of disruption, CQ and PQ are more important predictors of career and life success than IQ or intelligence quotient. So, what are CQ and PQ? Well, CQ is curiosity quotient, and PQ is passion quotient. Therefore, university curricula should stimulate and excite curiosity as well as encourage and cultivate passion among students. These two personality attributes can and will make good students become great students, and ordinary graduates become extraordinary alumni. We are now facing a fast-changing societal and market needs due to disruption caused by digital revolution and AI-based technology application. Consequently, university curriculum reform is needed to provide new and different competencies and skill sets required by human resources to respond to the new market needs of Smart Society 5.0. With the ever-changing and rapid advancement of global know-how, the most useful education tool to master is the process on how to learn and how to unlearn and how to relearn. Obviously, the task and process of how to unlearn is the most difficult ones. It is no surprise then that only few people have succeeded or willing to do so. And here lies the biggest barrier to change, to become relevant, and to survive the competition in life. As a storyteller, I want to share my observations on the changing paradigm of educational outcomes at world-class universities globally. For example, in my own alma mater, Stanford University, it considers itself a failure if they only prepare graduates to get a job. The task of great university is to prepare their alumni to create new jobs. To do so, university must reorient and reform their curriculum accordingly. Let me also share another important observation. There are now many young entrepreneurs, including in Asia, with successful startup companies, although not all of them have become unicorn or decacorns. They are following the footsteps of Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. and many other Silicon Valley giants, which now dominate global businesses and economy. It is the young generation of communipreneurs and sociopreneurs who have the tacit knowledge. They have first-hand practical experiences on successful business models, strategies, lessons learned of the companies of the future. And they learn and gain such expertise and competencies through crowdsourcing. They share or procure monetizable information through networking and or partnership with their professional peers globally. Most may not have obtained such tacit knowledge from their formal education at the universities. It is unfortunate. These young entrepreneurs also know and understand the competencies and skill sets requirements for human resource development, which are much different than those of the past. Unfortunately, such tacit knowledge may not be available and well known at most universities, where many senior professors are not quite digitally literate. Such a problem also created a widening generation gap, not only between senior professor and their students, but also between parents and children. This situation appears to continue in many countries, especially in Asia, to become a generational conflict. It is true that many disruptors and young startup entrepreneurs did not reach their goals, especially in becoming unicorns or decacorns. However, some of them have become sources of inspiration and role models for the Fang generation. You know what Fang generation is? That is the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google generation. Consequently, many children are digitally literate, have also been exposed to new opportunities and different career choices needed for the disruption era. In contrast, many parents are digitally illiterate and have not been adequately exposed to the changing needs and the professional careers needed in the era of disruption. The different and incompatible perception and expectations lead to serious and problematic conflicts between children and their parents. Many parents still impose their insistence and direct or indirect pressures on their children to pursue studies and career for safe occupations such as medicine, engineering, accounting, architect, law, etc. Consequently, large number of students are not able to develop and maximize their full academic and intellectual potential based on their own passions, aspiration, and talents. So finally, here are the takeaways from what I've discussed thus far. First, stop perpetuating more of the same educational curricula, learning processes, and methods. Two, avoid and change the supply-oriented mindset of educators and academic-oriented professors into a demand-driven curricula and learning programs. Three, educators should study, review, analyze, and understand the lessons learned of the business model, strategies, and operational management of successful startup companies. More importantly, they should identify the tacit knowledge and human resource competency requirements of Society 5.0, disruptors, and successful unicorns and decacorns companies. Four, instead of inviting and listening to old timers like me, maybe it is much better for educational institutions, policy and decision makers, and professors to invite, listen to, and learn from young disruptors and startup innovators and the unicorn and decacorn entrepreneurs. Those young entrepreneurs have the up to date and relevant tacit knowledge. They also know the competency of set of skills needed for the workforce and the new professional careers of the emerging marketplace of the future. Finally, number five, special education and special learning programs and public counseling sessions are needed for parents on the new emerging career needs and opportunities for their children in the next 5 to 7 years. So here is the final question. How can emotional intelligence principles and lessons learned be applied and incorporated into university curriculum to help solve or mitigate the issues I described above? Thank you very much and all the best to you.